Hey all, this is a quick tutorial on the observational exercise. The first part is go ahead and go outside and take a drawing of your night sky. It doesn't have to be great. You can see mine. It's not an artistic assignment, but determine, what are the brightest stars, what are the next brightest stars, and you can read through and kind of see what the description is. And come up with your own drawing. Make sure you record the date and time that you were outside because you'll need it for part 2. Part 2, just go to Stellarium.org. They have a version of the software that's free for every operating system. Get the one that's right for you. Go ahead and install it and load Stellarium, which I'm going to do real quick here. And once you load Stellarium, I have you doing a couple of quick things. The first thing is finding out where you're at. You'll see there's a menu over here. So F6 allows you to enter your specific location. Go ahead and please do that so it matches you. The A key will turn off the atmosphere. There's all sorts of options down here. A turns off the atmosphere, G turns off the ground, etc. So go ahead and do that. F5, or this window here, the date and time, is for when you took your observation. So the time that you wrote down in part 1, go ahead and enter that in part 2. And then you will go ahead and, if you click on anything, you can get more information about it. So just so you know. And then you'll go to F4, and there's a magnitude list over here. So I have you go ahead and check limit magnitude. And I want you to adjust this to the point where it sort of matches your drawing. So it might be at 4, or 5, or maybe 6. So these are the sort of limit of magnitude. But you can kind of see what is meant by a magnitude 2 star. Versus a magnitude 3 star, versus magnitude 4 star, and so on. 6 is the general thought for what humans normally can see. Okay, so go ahead and do that. The next thing I have you do is go to the Star Lore Lab, and you can turn on constellations. So under markings, I want you to show the art, and show the labels and the lines for the constellations. So I'll turn the art off for a second. You can recognize that there's all of these constellations, and they've done some great artwork that matches with it. Now what's interesting in the software is you can go and say, well, I want to look at were there other cultures that looked at the same stars and had something different, or did they picture something different? And you can go through and you'll see that some cultures have things in your area, and some cultures don't. And then I have you facing west and turning up time. So if you go down here, you'll see there's play. Time is going through normally, but you can actually speed up time so that it moves faster, and you'll see that it's moving through. I have you doing some time jumps around to look at how the stars look at different times. Go ahead and do that part of the assignment. And then in the search window, which is right here, you can search for specific objects. I have you search for Zarya, which was the first module of the International Space Station. If anything happens and things start spinning wildly out of control, it's probably the mount. Just switch between the azimuthal and equatorial mount, which is this button right here. Now I'm going to hit G, which is going to turn the ground off, and now we're going to track T, the module. So you can see I should slow time down a little bit before we all get sick. There you go. So then you can track that around. I have you tracking Mars as well. So the last thing I have you do is look at the planet Mars from Earth's perspective. And so I've kind of done a lot of that here just to get ready, but important things are that you have to turn the this on, the Control M on. If it's off, you'll spin wildly out of control and probably get seasick and dizzy maybe. Turn on orbits, which is O. That'll turn on the orbits of the planet, and search for Mars in the search window so that you're looking at Mars. And then it'll be easier to see if you go ahead and get rid of the ground and the atmosphere, and then sort of set it up so that Now you're looking out into space. You can see Mercury and Venus and Mars. You're sort of looking along the ecliptic. And I'm going to start increasing time. And we'll increase time a little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, so if you watch, planets are moving across in their orbits, and they're doing just great, and they're going across. I'm slowly following them along their orbits. So there was this mystery that there were these several stars that would go streaking across the sky, suddenly change direction, and come back. And then it was discovered that they were planets, and they knew that they were planets, or gods or something. But there were this strange motion where the planets would move across the sky and suddenly stop and go back in the opposite direction. And this mystery confounded astronomers for thousands of years. It's a very strange thing to the ancients who thought the universe was unchanging and perfect. So take a look at that. Spend a little time being Hipparchus this week, and go ahead and turn in all the questions that are in red to me by the end of week 2.